I had a hobby too. Mine happened to be guns and ballistics, and I studied guns and ballistics as much as I could, and I wrote an article about high velocity.
So out of all my years working at Weatherby, the last 5 have been some of the most exciting. Working with Adam, with him running the company.
And to think that I get the opportunity of carrying on my grandfather's legacy 75 years later here in Sheridan, Wyoming, I mean, it really is a dream come true.
Oh, I'm home. Thank God I'm home.
On our mark, the Weatherby Podcast.
Welcome back to On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast. It's a special week this week. Father's Day is coming. 75% of the people at this table right now are fathers.
Yeah, so when I scheduled this, I took into consideration who has kids and who doesn't, and I'm the only one who doesn't in this group. So, but I know how to pick good gifts too. And who
you
doesn't?
have a father.
I do have a father.
Yeah.
And some would say that Seth's my work dad, so that's also part of the family business. So, yeah. So
Yeah, you
that's
can give me a present if you want to.
I definitely could.
I'll drop you some hints today.
Yeah. So, Jared you're a father like 6 times over.
Yeah, half dozen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that quiver's got a half dozen in it, so it's a good number. Yeah.
It is. It keeps you busy.
Yeah, that's basketball team plus 1 sub.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm working on the basketball team.
You guys could have a scrimmage here in a few years.
We could have a scrimmage.
Mine are substantially, well, most of them. My oldest is 7 right now, so yeah.
6 kids, 7 and under. He has more headaches than I do.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
My wife's a good woman.
Seth, I guess we're just doing a grounding here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm only at 3, so I'm the guy that runs behind, I guess. I think it's above average still, but at the table, considerably below average.
Yep. You also were an accountant before joining the product team, so you might just be more fiscally responsible than us.
That could be.
So those little guys aren't cheap.
No, that's I was sitting here doing the calculations on Jared, and you're worth a lot of money if we place a value on children.
Oh yeah, that's how I count wealth. So I'm uber rich.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, a couple tax breaks at least.
Same. That's right. So, Tyler, what are your thoughts on this Father's Day situation?
Man, I just think it's a good time to either, have an excuse to buy yourself a new rifle, or if you're shopping and, getting dad something good. It's a good opportunity to maybe go through kind of some, what's a good budget gun, rifle, shotgun versus, if the sky's the limit, kind of going through the line. So
Yeah, obviously there's different levels of financial backgrounds, but let's just pretend we don't have one of those right now and go from there. But I think that's how a lot of my Father's Days have gone. I'm like, I really want that thing. Guess what? You guys just got me. It's fun.
Yeah. So it's always funny, too, because, like, the Monday after Father's Day, that's always, like, the day when it's like, hey, did you get a bunch of ties and all this stuff? And now you can buy what you really want on Monday. So
got a bunch of drawings.
Yeah.
So what would you want to find under your Father's Day tree?
Yeah, I'll kick us off in kind of the shotgun category. So we'll just kind of go around in a circle. But shotguns, man, for like the best value that I feel like in our line, personally, I would want an Orion side by side, and I'd want it in 410 because I feel like that's something that I wouldn't just buy myself. But it's like that's a good one for an excuse to go out and buy something that I didn't have.
We should have rehearsed this because I have a hard time saying anything other than that one. Yeah. I love that side-by-side. Yeah. And the 410 is so light. If the first time I shot it, it was kind of like the first time that I shot the backcountry, the original backcountry, sub 5-pound Magnum rifle, and I just expect it's going to kick the snot out of me, and it doesn't. And it's so fun to just watch people pick it up. They do that same like, oh, man. It was the same thing with that side-by-side 410.
And it's still got some giddy up in the sense we were shooting clays today, and I swear I shoot that side-by-side better than I shoot a 12-gauge. And they just crush every time. So
yeah.
And we're talking like 35 yard crossing shots. I mean, like I miss a lot of those with the 12-gauge. I'm like, how am I not missing with this 410? So
yeah,
just shoot it well.
I've seen a lot of people shoot it really well. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I guess I would say the same one because I love it.
It's a good value.
You guys cannot do that.
Yeah. And we have
now the rules start applying.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
we have a lot of lines here too. So
Are we talking about just shotguns?
just shotguns on
Just
this one.
shotguns?
Just shotguns.
Oh, man. So I would say if your dad does not have an over-under, then the Orion over-under is an excellent one to get, especially if you're doing like sporting model.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. 20 gauge, 12 gauge, either one.
Yeah, and that sporting model is going to adjustable riser and stuff, so you
Yeah.
can kind of get into a good sporting gun.
If you're going out having fun with your dad, going to the range, hitting clays and stuff, like the Orion over-under, that's a lot of fun. That gun's great.
Yeah, I think kind of springboarding on your Orion. I mean, that for me, that 20 gauge with the 26-inch barrels, I really, really like that shotgun. It's light to carry. I like to go hunting pheasants with my buddies or my kids or whatever else, and that gun is just a pleasure to carry. So to me, that Orion is a fantastic shotgun for the money on it, especially. That's kind of where I'd be looking for a great value.
I like the matte finish too. It just is a good looking gun. So then my top pick though, shotguns. If money didn't matter, I'm going 18-9 limited.
That thing's sweet.
That thing is amazing. It is beautiful. It's like a work of art.
You can tell he doesn't have any kids, so he actually has the money to get it.
You know what? You're right. I'll just go ahead and buy it. But I'd go that and a 20 gauge. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, I guess there's kind of two things. I'm considering revising my side-by-side statement. I think the Element Tungsten is like one of the best values in shotguns from a semi-auto perspective.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Cerakote, corrosion protection, all the things. Cycles anything.
Yeah.
That's
Then
a pretty good pick.
Then the new Sorix. Our shotgun line is looking really good.
It's pretty salty right now.
Man,
Yeah.
I like it. Good job, Seth.
So yeah, I'd probably go 18-9 limited. Those are just like one of those just feels like it just needs to be in your gun safe.
It's like the deluxe of shotguns.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. Yeah.
If your dad's into fancy things, it's a great
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, if Dad's an aficionado, that's a really, really good choice. Or if he's got like a collection of whether it be Mark V Deluxes, that one really looks nice sitting right next to him.
Yeah. I mean, you probably need a couple siblings to go in on it together for Dad, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
a good one.
What's next?
All right, Vanguard. So this is where I think people's answers will start changing a little bit. So I'm going to go with the new Spike Camp, which if you heard the first podcast, it was not my favorite Vanguard to start with, but it just keeps growing and growing on me, and it looks so good. So I'm going to go that new Spike Camp in a 308.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
If I was getting a gift for my dad, I think the Vanguard Obsidian, because the price point on that's like super attainable.
Yeah.
I'd probably do it. You guys will probably like punch me, but for my dad, I'd probably do it in 7 rim mag because he just really likes that cartridge. He's got another rifle that I don't think is as good as the Obsidian. I won't like say what kind it is, but it's not a Weatherby. Yeah, it's like a color. But I won't give it from completely away. Yeah. He's just had issues with that thing, and I'd like to make him not
Upgrade.
have issues.
Yeah.
It's an attractive price point. You could probably get that at retail for what, $450, $499.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
That $500 is for sure.
And they're all threaded now, too.
Yeah, it's ready to roll.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Jared?
I'd go classic. If you're talking Father's Day, just a good all-around, decently cheap rifle, Sporter.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That is a good selection.
yeah.
I think for my dad, I'd probably be looking at, I think the Outfitter would be one that I'd look at for him. You know, again, it's maybe a little trendier for a guy in his 70s, but it's different than any rifles that he's got. So
Yeah, good
it's
point.
kind of one of those that I think that it would probably grow on him. The spiral fluting and stuff like that, you don't always think like, oh, a 70-plus-year-old guy is going to like that. but I think he would like it. So I'd probably get him that in a 257.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a 257 yet. He's shot mine and likes it, so I think that's probably the ticket for him.
If our fathers are watching this, like don't get too excited here. I actually just like 2 months ago, I did give my dad a gun, and so that's your next several Father's Days present right there. He'd been drooling over a 1911 for a while, and I had a pretty nice one, and
Nice.
I let him take care of it for a while.
I would say my second one is going to be Vanguard Talon. It's just really hard to beat.
We get two?
Yeah, we're doing like a good and better,
Okay.
or better and better.
Yeah. That's fine. All right, let's go 3. Why stop there?
So yeah, my second choice would be a Talon, just because it's got that Peak 44 stock on it.
Yeah, I mean that's a great. It's almost a backcountry for $1,000 less.
Yeah, I'm thinking 6.5 300 too. Super flat shooting. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stir the pot here. I'm gonna go for a Camilla.
Ooh. Okay.
Camilla Wilderness, because my mom doesn't have a rifle. If I gave it to my dad, then he could give it to her. Does it work like that?
There's not actually rules here, so.
And it'd probably be in 243.
Yeah.
Just something light shooting, nothing crazy. Yeah.
So the original one I went with was a Sporter because it's classic looking. You've got the nice wood stock.
Yeah,
wood
you won
finish.
the first round, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's really like if
I would
you're
say that
looking
was
for
the
like
best
the
pick.
classic hunting rifle, that is going to be the one. Now, if your dad drives around a side by side on a ranch and he treats your guns like a lawnmower or something,
Or like a shovel.
yeah, and it's going to be like riding in the back of a truck or
Yeah.
like a UTV, I would do something like a Talus, something nice and Cerakoted. You got sturdy stock on it, just basically like a tool that is excellent, that you're not going to be like, it's like, oh,
That's
I left
good.
it in the back of the truck and it rained. Cerakote finish. I'd go some with that.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, that's not kind of. I like where your head's at on that one. I think I go to the Vanguard Compact Hunter for the next choice on the one that I'm looking at. 22-250, wonderful platform for a varmint gun. So something to take the kids out. Grandpa wants to take the kids out and go shoot some
That's a great
coyotes and
idea.
do some of that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's a really cool gun to do it because it's threaded also. It's kind of fun to shoot a 22-250 with a suppressor on it. So,
It's also Cerakoted.
and it's Cerakoted. And
Doesn't
awesome.
look like it because it's just black, but that's just black Cerakote on that one.
That one's
It's tungsten.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's got,
It's black
got some black
tungsten.
on the stock.
Yeah. Yeah. The stock has black on it.
It does.
yes.
Yeah, the Vanguard Compact. Yeah, that you could get away with that one too now
Yeah.
because it is threaded and it's black. It is not Cerakoted though.
No, that one's not.
Yeah.
But also a
Compact
good
color.
option. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got that spacers in it too on the
Yeah.
compact. So yeah, it's nice. Moving on to Model 307. So this, you guys are all probably gonna be mad at me because everyone's probably thinking this one, but I'm gonna go Adventure SD as my top pick for.
That's kind of like the Sporter. But the Adventure SD is quite a bit nicer wood than
Yeah,
the
the
Sporter.
wood just looks so good on that. I'd probably go something classic like 300 Weatherby on that too. Just looks good. Looks like it's Cerakoted too, so it's got a little durability on there.
How come Tyler gets to go first every time?
Every
That's not-
time.
I'm last.
Every
Like,
I guess
I get the 4th round draft pick every time. This really is tough.
Next time I'll go last, I promise.
This one's limited, right? I mean, if we all go twice, we're gonna have to double up.
Let's just go pick. You can just pick one then.
First pick is Range XP. I'm gonna do that, and 6.5 RPM because I love that cartridge. And he already has. If it's for my dad, it'd be. He already has a 7 rim mag and I wanted something different. The other one was to replace. he's getting all these guns now. Man, I'm a good son.
Yeah. At the end of this, it's gonna be like 10 rifles. So.
Yeah, if price is not an issue, then, oh man, I'm kind of torn on this, but I would probably go the Alpine CT. So Bastion stock, carbon fiber barrel, those shoot just amazingly well.
So
and,
good.
That's a hard one to beat. So, yeah, sky's the limit on pricing. Definitely would do that.
Nice, yeah, I like that. Since I'm a 4th round draft pick, I'm gonna go with the Alpine MDT. In
Carbon or just Alpine MDT?
Either or. Dad's probably past the time in his life when he's gonna go out and chase big elk. So at this point, it's like a deer gun. So I'd go with 240 Weatherby in that because that fast twist at 240 is pretty incredible. So I think I'd lean towards that one. That's just such a fun gun. The 240 Weatherby is really, really a cool cartridge, and I think he'd probably appreciate it. I mean, he's killed enough deer and stuff with 243s through the years, but the 240 just changes everything versus a 243. So I think Dad would like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think if your dad has a suppressor, that's an excellent one to do too, just because of the folding stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Mark.
Oh, I
5.
thought we were doing 2.
No, we're only gonna do one on that one.
Oh,
thought
I
you said
wasn't
one.
done.
Oh, well, no, if you give straight.
No, if I was going to buy one
I'm just kidding.
for myself, it would. I said it in our live podcast yesterday, but I would 100%. I probably will in the near future get for myself a Alpine MDT carbon.
Yeah.
The cartridge is tougher. I'd probably do it in 300 Weatherby because
Pretty
it's
versatile.
my favorite.
Yeah.
For Alpine MDT carbon, I am definitely like, if I go that route, I'm gonna have to buy 2 of them because I really want to get like set up on an NRL hunter gun. So I'd have to get a Creedmoor, but so that I'm practicing for hunting, I'd want to have a bigger caliber so that like it is 1-to-1
Yeah.
practicing to like putting it then to work. So I think it's gonna be a very expensive day when I do that, but I kind of love that idea of like practice like you play. So that's been intriguing me a lot. So that 6.5 Creedmoor for NL Hunter would be like what I'd have to do.
Love those BSF barrels.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's going to be my second pick too. Jared, you had a second pick?
You don't have to. I kind of broke Tyler's rules here.
Rules that
I'd
I'm
either
making
go-
up as I'm going. So
Yes.
just
Guidelines.
Yeah, I would say if your dad likes something fancy, like more classic kind of a thing, like my dad's more of a classy, like he wants wood stocks. Adventure SD is pretty awesome. Like that is really pretty wood. Now, that like fancy walnut, like there's you like go through them like as we're assembling too, and every once in a while you're like pulling out a stock and you're like, this is way better than a standard, fancy walnut. But yeah, so there's some good quality wood there. But I'd either do that CT, go all out on carbon fiber, or keep it classy, do the adventure.
You bring up a good point there that I've thought about before. I think it may have been 4 or 5 years ago. We were like short on something, and we were all kind of helping out downstairs. I was boxing Vanguard sporters, and it's not like it's not fancy walnut. It's like a decent little stick of wood. But I boxed one up that was like, how did this get past the grader wherever was grading this one? Because it was a gorgeous piece of wood. I felt like I was putting in a box Willy Wonka's golden ticket. It's like, because on wood, I mean, it's like a fingerprint. They're all different, And it's pretty fun that, I bet the guys at the gun shops that get to open the boxes for the first time, opening a wood gun would be so much fun. Like, good or great, like how's it going to come in? It's kind of fun to think about. I would like that job.
Yeah. So being down in Vanguard for a couple of years, we would see stuff come through, and like every once in a while there'd be like a more like blonde stock, and it's like, oh, look at that. And so there'd always be like fun ones that come through, and
like streaks of blonde in some of them.
Oh
too.
yeah, or just like something really wild where it's like that That feels like we should pull that aside for something, but we just box it up and put it out, and then
The golden ticket.
yeah. But there'd be somewhere I'm like, ooh, yeah.
I've
If I can
seen
defer
I've seen
payment.
quite a few side by sides too that come with like some really pretty tiger stripes. Like,
Yeah.
looks, they're like, whoa. Same thing. We were doing inspections on them. Like, how are these that price?
Yeah, they're pretty. You got
Seth,
it?
you want to do
Yeah,
that
I
one?
mean, it's not going to be anything that nobody's already mentioned yet. But yeah, my second round choice for kind of in that same ballpark of pricing, that Alpine CT, love it. And I think something kind of a little different, probably a 280 Ackley, I think would be a really cool gun. I think Dad would like that. It's been around a long time, so it's not one of the newfangled cartridges. But yeah, I think I'd look pretty hard at that.
Yeah,
It's a really good pick.
Yeah, and you picked Range XP. I would also just kind of a tidbit is we've got a couple of cool like parts of that Range XP that are at dealers. So there's a couple cool colors that are only available
Yeah,
at
we
dealers
did
too.
We did some SMUs, kind of we call them special makeups that are special for certain groups of dealers of different buy group members. So
yeah,
some of
some of those look really good.
terrain.
Yep. Terrain and Deadfall are out there.
They both look really good. I think I can't remember which one.
Dead-
In my head, I'm struggling with mental colors apparently today, but yeah, they both look good. But there's one that I like a lot.
That was pretty descriptive. I like that.
Yeah,
The one that I
if
like.
you
a
could
lot.
see what I can see when my eyes are shut right now, you would love it too.
Good looking guns, yeah.
All right, on to High Country, and as promised, Seth, you get to start us off.
On
You
to
Mark
high
V.
country.
Oh, sorry, I meant Mark V. That was my pick. I was so excited.
So
you got so excited.
You snuck in
I
your
snuck-
first pick, even
You
though you
totally.
I totally didn't
What
mean
a
to do
jerk.
that was awful.
I'm
what
gonna let you
just-
have first pick,
that.
except I'm
High
not.
Country. Yeah. So
So
you
why
can.
is your answer the High Country?
No,
Tyler?
we'll just pretend like I didn't do that. You go ahead.
Okay. Father's Day. I love having first pick. Definitely the most classic, most refined looking gun out there is the Mark V Deluxe for Dad. So that would be the one that for my father I know would just be the one that he would love. So I mean it's going to have to be a 270 Weatherby
Yeah.
because it's just cool. It's such a great cartridge, and I don't know. I love the 270 Weatherby. The recoil's manageable. It's flat shooting, and sectional densities on 277s are great. I mean, there's a whole list of things you could go through of why it's a great gun. But I know Dad would like that one if it was under the Father's Day tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're now gonna put up a tree this weekend.
Nice.
Well, let's see here. So is the High Country off the table?
No, you can go ahead.
Totally steal it.
Oh man, I totally should. Let's see here. I've got reasons though. So I'm going to go through why, if you're going classy, deluxe, you can't beat. Like that's just beautiful. And then also too, like something that people don't really think about with that is you can always do custom shop and then like kind of do initials or something like that, which is really classy. But if I'm going for an all-around Mark V, absolutely, the High Country is probably the best, in my mind, the best choice. You have like the awesome Bastion stock carbon fiber, but it's a little more, like shooter friendly or target friendly for than like the backcountry, and then the barrel contours right in that middle. So if you're gonna go for like a rifle, perfect, like could do all things for like hunting, like you could carry it around all day, but you could also just deer stand or cross a bean field or whatever else. Yeah, I would do like a High Country and 300 Weatherby.
It's a pretty good one.
Deluxe and 257. Because it's like classic.
Like
So classic. That's like the quintessential Weatherby. Like if I cannot really, I'm not going to give my dad that. That's expensive. Sorry, Dad. But if I were to, like, I'd feel like I'd be giving him like, this is Weatherby.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Roy's favorite cartridge, Deluxe, Mark V, all the things. Yeah.
I didn't think Jared was going to catch this. That was going to be my other than High Country, that would have been my inline, but I was going to say Mark V Custom. And
Custom what?
so I'd probably start with a backcountry carbon, but I'd want to do it in 280 Ackley because I just love the 6-lug action. And I think that'd be cool. Really take advantage of that. So, yeah.
If it's presents for us, then I would like to have an
Yeah,
Apex
yeah,
338, 378.
Yeah, I mean,
If any of my kids or
Yeah.
wife are watching, just in case.
in case it shows up at home.
Yeah, under the tree.
Yeah, for me, if I was going to buy my own Father's Day present, I might do the Backcountry 2 in 338 RPM, 18-inch barrel.
That'd be pretty cool.
I've got some long range setups, but I would really like to have a big hole, short barrel, like hike through some thick stuff bear gun. It just sounds awesome. It's a great gun. You got another one, Jared?
I just realized as I talked about the High Country 300 Weatherby, and because that would actually be the one I'd be choosing, but because I think having like a long range gun, short, like kind of it's like a framing hammer, like it's good for everything that you use a hammer for, light, heavy, but I don't have a fancy gun. Like I don't have like a really, really pretty gun.
You don't have a finish hammer?
I do not have, no. So if I were to go all out, I would do a custom Mark V for a deluxe and just do all the things.
Yeah,
Just have a really
blueprint,
nice,
everything.
Yep. So if it were for myself, like something that I don't have,
Hand
that would-
checkered bolt,
oh yeah, yep,
Damascene bolt, all the things.
yep, that would be a fancy Mark V. Because it's probably something I would never really buy myself, but I always look at that and I say that's very nice.
Right on. What's next, Tyler?
So I have ammo on here, but this can be more general. I'm thinking like we have a bunch of different bullet selections and things like that. So you can keep it as broad, or you'd be like, man, I need a box of this, or this would be great to go. So maybe pick something ammo, and we'll start with Jared this time.
That's really easy for me because like I want to shoot the same bullet for everything. So my answer to like everything is like 300 Weatherby, 195 hammers. So
It's hard to say anything else.
really hard to like. I don't really want to.
Everyone can just say hammer anything.
I'm looking around
too.
the table and I'm trying to think of who would say something different than that. Seth probably going to go big
Oh
bore.
yeah.
I don't mind the hammer and the big ones either. I mean, that's the hammer
262,
bullets
huh?
are really, really good. I mean, that if anybody ever asks, it's like, well, yeah, start there, and then you probably won't have to try anything else out. So,
Yeah.
I literally wrote down anything hammer is on my notes here. So
yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's probably a table consensus. One of the cool things that we've got going is the non-Weatherby stuff, though. Again, if Dad got a new rifle this year and you're looking just to get him something a little bit smaller, than buying him a new gun, then a box of premium, ammunition, even if he's got a 7 PRC that he just got or something like that. Get him one of those loaded up with the 177 hammers, or get a 280 Ackley with the hammers. Something like that would be a really cool gift, just so you can try out some new ammunition that is probably going to shoot really, really good.
280 AI is a cool cartridge too. I mean, it's been around for so long, and it's really niche. Like it really. There's been a vein of people who have used it for decades. So that's kind of one of those cool ones where it's like if your dad does shoot one of those, or you can almost guarantee that you're going to have a good selection of ammunition. Be like, here you go, try those, and they're going to shoot great.
Here's a new tie and a box of ammo. I mean, who doesn't like that underneath the Father's Day tree?
yeah, and 280 Ackley, it's a 139
Yeah,
hammer.
That's a really cool round.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued by the 72 grain hammer in the 240. That thing's cruising.
So it wasn't for Father's Day, but our friend Ryan Lampers, he's doing the summits, and he just ordered like 10 boxes of 72 grain hammers for $240.
Oh, that's gonna
He
be fun.
loves them. Shot a couple of wolves with them as well.
I didn't realize that he shot
With $240.
those enormous wolves.
Yes. $240 by the B.
I need to get the story from him on those because the picture that I saw of him like bear hugging the wolf
Yeah.
and its head is over his head and its feet are like on the ground. Huge.
He's a hammer believer too. He's shooting pretty much hammers and everything now.
Yeah.
How well did that 240 shoot that we were?
Yeah, that not going to let out too many secrets, but yeah, Alpine MDT carbon. I was downstairs looking at one and checking targets, and it was a 5-shot .18 with the 72 grain hammers at 3,640 feet per second with the 22-inch barrel.
So the shorter barrel.
The shorter barrel. So you're not going to crest 3,700 with that round anymore with a 22-inch barrel if you opt for the new carbon. However, it seems to shoot pretty good.
And that was just like a rifle off the shelf kind of thing? They're just like pulling quality?
Off the rack rifle.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty fun.
That's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my pick.
All right. So one more kind of round robin here. I've got something, you can keep it hunting related, but something that's a non-Weatherby item. Something that you just could use in either your gear pack or just something that's going to make a better shooter. Any of those things.
I think Luke's first this time. He gets first round pick.
Luke's going through his iPad here. Or
Go through his Father's Day list.
yeah, he's like, I got a list for this.
I was working. I would pick the Garmin chronograph.
Oh my, that's a good one, man.
That is a good one.
It's a new little guy. You just kind of set it like a little behind and just a little off to the side, and the quick little setup. But I would really like to have that. I have a magneto speed, but it's just kind of cumbersome. It's kind of dumb looking. You got to have it off the end of your barrel, and the logging features on Garmin, and I'm kind of a Garmin dork. Like I've got
The watch.
I've got the watch. I use the Garmin index scale at home. Like their it's kind of like Apple. Like once they hook you, you're just kind of in, and they just their ecosystem works really well together, and I like it. So, and I trust their products. I know that one's pretty sweet. So, thinking about where I'm at, that's what I'd pick for me. Yeah.
Jared, are you going to pick a plumb bob? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
No, he needs a roofing hammer.
Some rosin.
some scope rosin. Oh yeah. Let's see here. So probably. Okay, so this is going to be different. So something like, my dad, all of his tools are going to be something that he found at Harbor Freight 30 years ago. So like, if your dad is one of those people where it's like he's a big shooter but he doesn't want to spend money on stuff, get him a really good cleaning rod.
Oh,
Like
that's
either
great.
a Vortex, I like Vortex, or the J. Dewey. J. Dewey rods are great.
It's a great
Yeah.
idea, and that's like a really good, affordable.
Yeah, because
What's one of those run? $70 or something.
yeah, it's got to be like $70, or it's not too much. And it's honestly, if you do that, you go all out and get him like a really nice cleaning kit specific for his calibers. If you have like two
It's really thoughtful, Jared.
two rods,
Yeah.
one with patches, one for brush, and then it absolutely like changes the whole cleaning game. It's really nice. If you're still using a break a piece rod that you got at Walmart, it's time to
The
upgrade.
bore clean.
Yeah.
What would you get yourself?
For me,
Yeah. What's something that you would love to add to your?
Ooh, okay. So something that I've not gone, I don't have yet, but I've been looking at for several years, would be a Kestrel.
Oh my god.
So
The Kestrel.
Kestrel, sorry.
That's
Yeah.
mine. That was what I was
Yeah.
going to say.
Yeah, that would be it. So Kestrel, if you have that, and you can gauge wind speed. I am terrible. Like that's probably where I lack the most is at like long range shooting. It gets windy and I'm just like, oh, time to move a lot closer. Like, that's kind of my go-to. So
Unless you shoot 338, 378, right, Seth? Then it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter. It don't matter.
yeah.
Or a 72 grain hammer because it's going to get there so fast.
It gets
it
there
don't
so
matter.
the wind don't touch it.
That's a good one. That was actually what I was going to say. So, what
I
about
read
you?
your mind.
Did. What about you, Seth?
Kind of a nice little thing that maybe Dad has or doesn't have. A good set of fix-it sticks or a fat wrench, something along those lines. Checking your torque on your screws, action screws, scope screws. I mean, more than not, I think we could probably poll our customer service group here and say, hey, like, what's the number one thing when somebody calls in and has an accuracy problem? Typically, it's something's loose or not torqued down to where it should be. So having something that's compact that you can throw in your bag, make sure that everything's cinched down nice and tight right where it needs to be to spec, that's probably going to eliminate 85% of the problems that people might encounter. So that might help Dad be less frustrated, I guess, outside. So that'd be one that I'd look at. For myself, I need a new set of boots. So I kind of ruined mine last year.
I'm on
Your
that.
Hanwags?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, they've had a lot of miles on them, so it's time for an upgrade, and I kind of need to get that done here sooner than later.
Because those
Yeah.
don't break in a week.
No, they don't. So yeah, it's
Are you
summertime.
going to go same pair, or are you been
Oh, yeah.
looking around?
No, I'll go same pair.
Nice. Well, Fix-It sticks was going to be mine because that's like pretty affordable and totally just traveling and doing all the things. It's just nice to have the right tools and you're not like, well, I have a bow wrench that works and I'm like trying to find these over here. So that would be good. So that's definitely a good one. But on the line of scopes, I would go, I can't recommend a Mark V from Leupold Mark V scope that's just the best scope out there. So I would recommend that one. So
I picked the Garmin for me, but if I was getting my dad something, it would be, this is a little different. Because he goes where my parents live, it's like minutes from public land where he can drive less than 10 minutes, never touch pavement, and he's on public land where he'll go shoot. I would get him a Stuckey's shooting bench.
nice.
Those
Yeah.
things are solid.
I feel like you were going to say something like that. I've never used one of those. I've used like a Staple Table Light, I think it's a Caldwell product.
Yeah, as far as like, you still kind of need something to put on top, whether it's bags or a sled or something. But like a steady, sturdy table, that thing is.
So the
It
one
is
with,
heavy.
with like 3 legs.
Yeah,
that-
I mean, and
yeah.
they're like 3 bazooka
Yeah.
legs. They're not. Nothing about that thing is chintzy. It's like rhino lined tabletop. You can throw it in the back of the side by side, let it wiggle all around. It's gonna be super solid. But yeah, if your dad shoots a lot or is setting up a table somewhere, check out Stuckey's shooting benches. Pretty awesome. I love them. What else? Is there anything else?
Man, another good one, like good value, would be a P44 tripod,
Yeah, that was.
especially if you're kind of into like the backcountry. It weighs 2.9 pounds. It's got a fluid head and a kind of a swivel joint where it's kind of got, fluid head and ball joint type capabilities. So I'd go that as well.
A lot of good options.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what's under my tree.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have so many kids. I mean, your tree is going to be littered with gifts.
No, really?
Some of us only have a few.
The honest truth of it is, I always just say, don't get me anything. I just want a hug.
Yeah, no doubt.
We just end up hanging out, doing the yard work, and then I'll go get myself something.
I'm getting a lot of artwork. It's typically.
Oh, yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of colorings and marker drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the refrigerator's not going to be bare. I mean, it's
Mud
going to have
pies.
some nice stuff on it.
No, it's great. Thanks for tuning in, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Kids, take care of your dads. Now's the time.